from the emptiness. You do as the headlines compel you. Another war begins. Destroy the veneer that surrounds you. There's no defense for your recklessness. You stare at the proof lies before you. What can't you see? Are you afraid to be exposed to the demons around you? See through the disguise, won't you open your eyes? You will all be running, in the words you cannot hide, and the end is coming, for the lamb standing in line. Overcome it. Let the fury build inside. You cannot be broken if you only open your eyes. Fuckers, open your eyes. Open your fucking eyes, damn it. So what you waiting for? With nothing left behind. So what you waiting for? Tell me what you're waiting for. Don't stand by and deny it. So what you waiting for? Tell me what you're waiting for. Break no ground and defy it. Don't let the world.
Alright, for the songs that I actually like, everybody like skips past these, I think. I like that one. It's so good.
I hear the voices echoing around me, angered eyes that don't even know who I am, looking to kill again. As the unknown enemies surround me, wicked laughter resonates inside my head, and I am filled with dread. What did I do? Why do I deserve this? So in questions, why do I deserve to die now? Give me a reason why.
Forgot about the so indifferent. So I was like, wait, what did you say? So indifferent. said, it's not easy to do that. I'm doing it on a fucking steering wheel, man.
Let this be understood.
Like, I'll do it and it makes it sound like the same time. It's not. It's the same tempo. And beats per measure. So if it's the same tempo, beats per measure, yeah, you can put it in there. This is why Dave Grohl said everything smells like Teen Spirit. Have you ever spent a lot of time watching Dave Grohl and listening to him talk and stuff? He's right. Because everything is basically... Isn't that a 4/4? That one's a 4/4, I think. A lot of things are 4/4s and 3/4s. So like, it's just that. When it's just that, I mean... Yeah, you have to understand, like, oh, I love this one too. So this is a great one. I think a lot of people skip past.
Can we make amends? Do we just pretend that we're over all the violence? Done with this, put it all to rest. And the screams now in the silence. Will you be a man? Can you make a stand? Will you own up or deny it? All the time we lost, was it worth the cost of breaking our family into? Destroying all we know. Tyrants, before we make you everything, make a lion for a moment. When did both of us have to believe that we were
I love that little drum riff. No, it's so good. It builds as it goes. It's not just a formatted song. I like how it builds. Like it kind of progresses. And I think this is a similar format they've started to use in their modern albums to prove to them that this shit was fucking good and that other people just didn't listen to it. Because most of the modern albums, the songs are formatted a lot like this and sound a lot like this, like heavier. And just a lot of people just didn't listen to these tracks. It's true. That's tough, man. Such a good track. Here we go. Good part. That's a double guitar solo, I think. There's two guitars there, I think. And I like the sound. I like it. Because the drums were so difficult to play, I couldn't even begin. I can't even. But it's not the single reason. It's not the single reason. It's just they're so good. Like, this album was just evolved above the rest, in my opinion. This one, this freaking song, Legion. fucking do it. They of anybody could do it. They should write a song and call it like fucking Cthulhu or some shit. And I guarantee you they'd get motivation from it. Like they get inspiration from it. Like that's how they think. Like they're I personally think like they get tons of inspiration from it. You know, like just listen to their music. The Animal, you know, the Warrior. You know, like just like all the songs over the years, you know. That's how what they get inspiration from. That big badass shit, man. That is so good. It's really good, isn't it? I'm impressed that he can do that. It takes a lot to get those words out like that. That's a pretty long section, too. And that's up there. It's up here! Can a monster's a reason to take your life? Now you appear as you are the insane. The damage you cause you cannot rectify. You've inspired new legions of monsters to take your life. We all... There's a pinch harmonic coming. Here it comes. There it was. That's showing off because, again, I love this song, but again, I want to remind you that thing Zach does all the time, the pinch harmonic, not everybody can do that. I promise you. Like, the point is, that's the reason they do that and show off like that, the fact that he can do it so regularly, you have to understand, it's actually really hard to do, and every guitar is different, and you can't just do it. Try it. You can't. You have to, like... I can do a pinch harmonic. It's easy. But bending it and continuing to use the feedback is the skill. And that's that. Woo! That sounds like that because he's fucking good. You can't... Try it. My motivation to play guitar. Realize how hard it is. People like hard things. And then I promise you're gonna get after you can't do it, you're gonna get a wah pedal, you're gonna get a distortion pedal, you're gonna... I promise. You're gonna be like, why the fuck can't I do that? It's gonna be this guy thing where you're like, you now have to do this because all these other guys do it. And you're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to figure out how to do it. Again, it's not a trick. I do love this song. I'm sorry for interrupting the song. Go listen to it. Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold. It's the last song on this album had 16 tracks. 16. This is what people don't realize about Disturbed before they started doing what they do now. I want you guys to realize what you did by not listening to buying the getting into the fan club and yada yada. I just want to remind you what you did. Sorry. It's a good song. I love that! It's so good. Anyway, I want to remind you that pinch harmonic bend, again, like you're bending a pinch harmonic. It's already difficult enough. Now you're changing the pitch of a harmonic. So it's already hard enough to know exactly how to do it. Now you have to know how to bend it. Come on. And they can pick up any guitar and do it, basically. Yeah, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. They are phenomenal at guitar if they can do that. Because they sat there and they spent time doing all that. Practicing it that many times. Yeah, they're probably phenomenal guitar if they can do that. Because, again, I know plenty of people that can't. And then they sit there and they're like, yeah, I'm doing it. And they're not. It's like, bing, bing. I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, I'm doing it. Burn, burn, burn. Well, yeah, okay. He's doing it there, basically. A soloist, you know, somebody with a wah pedal and stuff. That's the point. A lot of times, what they're doing is they're doing it with wah. They're adding wah too, but no, it's still a harmonic. You're still bending that harmonic at the end of the day. It's not a trick. Some asshole somewhere is watching this and he's like, no, it's a trick. I can do. No, it's not what he's doing. He's not doing it as a trick. Do it. And if you think that's a trick with a pedal, Zakk Wylde was doing it long before that shit.
This is your time, we will fight till their wheels are broken. This is game time, and it's same time that the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined. Find the power to devour, let the beast inside now be broken. In this world, only the strong will survive. Hear the roar, and you will know you're alive. Feel the energy building your soul, 'cause it's time. Oh, feel the calm before another storm. Another legend will be born.
I apologize if I sing out of key, but I'm trying to scream over music that's very loud, so I apologize.
Confrontation to the defeat of domination. Secure a legacy that will never die. Be immortalized.
Anybody watching wondering how I got the loud voice I have? Lots of practice of doing this, but not throwing it out. Doing it right, not throwing it out. Zakk actually helped me with it. there will be a vocalist that you most relate to over the years. I didn't think it would be Zach. I really didn't. I really had no clue it would be Zach Wild. Of all people, right? And so that's the point. Like, I really didn't expect that at all. And then I started resonating with it and realizing, oh my God, that's how I sing. It's exactly how I actually, like, this is what you'll struggle with as a singer, is like, you'll grow up listening, like, if you're, and I used to be an impressionist. I was very good at it. As you can kind of hear, I can add a little bit of that now, a little bit, but because of my teeth and my throat situation, I'm just not nearly as good as I used to be. I could get it spot on every time, almost anybody. I used to be able to do, and then again, I threw out my voice doing the Giving Up scream, and after I got it back, my teeth gap. There's too long of a gap, and so confused with Phil Collins, right? I'm not really sure why. I think it's just because they look similar. They're both bald. They don't really sound that much alike. They really don't. So I know you probably might even be thinking that, but no, that's not the case. I really don't think they sound anything alike, and I don't think that their style is even similar. Guy from Tears for Fears. I'll bet he warms up to Tears for Fears. I'll bet he warms up to 80s music. He sounds so much like Rick Astley, like just like a lot of those guys from the 80s that had this baritone voice, except he learned how to be a tenor. That's all. He just learned how to be a tenor, and he's really good. And so he does metal, and he does the raspiness and stuff, and just learned those techniques. That's it. And so it's very similar styles, actually, if you hear his actual singing voice. Bleeding now, I'm tortured now, I'm falling down, and I'm feeling nothing. Like songs like that, where you can really hear his actual singing voice, where he's not putting a tone in there. He is such a good singer. Most of the time he's putting a tone in there because he just can't do that without throwing his voice out. His actual singing voice is very raw, very clear, and it sounds like that. And yeah, that's a lot of, yeah, like that's where that influence comes from, for sure. I mean, it sounds just like Tears for Fears or Rick Astley or something like that. So that's the influence, and so, you know, you just have to do that with yourself. So I did that with Zach Wild, where I started realizing his influence too, and then also relating how I could sing like Ozzy over the years too. That actually answered the question. That actually did it for me. Was understanding how Zach was able to also sing that tenor stuff without like losing voice, while actually singing it, not just like straining and stuff, like actually getting his pitch up there. And yeah, it's what they tell you. It's everything they tell you. It's here, not here. And it's a bunch of nonsense you're going to hear from an instructor that's going to be like, oh, just learn how to techniques and moving your chin a certain way. Durka. I get it. It's annoying. It's the sort of thing where, like, this person's done it for like this many years and they're telling you to do it, and they're just a bad instructor. Yeah. There's a lot of bad vocal instructors out there that just tell you to do this. And that's been my experience on YouTube, where most people don't really know how to teach vocal instruction. They just know how to do it. So you know, it's the sort of thing where just like I said, it's up to interpretation of the person, but realize your chin is larger or smaller than somebody else. Your neck is longer or shorter than somebody else. Your neck is fatter or more dilated or less dilated than somebody else, realize these things. Do you have allergies? Is your nose closed up? All of these things affect your singing. And this is something over the years that a vocal instructor was not able to tell me. I have seasonal allergies that, I know you guys can probably see my nose sometimes. I didn't get like hit or anything. I'm not like constantly sparring somebody and getting hit. No. I actually have an infection in one of my nostrils. And it's just like scabbing up and fucking being infected, and it's gross. I don't want to tell you about it. But it's the sort of thing where I'm just nasally all the time. My voice is gonna sound like this. Hold on. I'll try to like. Okay, if my voice wasn't so nasally, I guess it sort of still is. You kind of hear how it clears up a bit if I actually pull on my nostril and I can breathe properly. Do you hear how my voice actually kind of clears up? It's a lot less nasally and there's less tinniness to it. This affects your singing. This absolutely affects your singing, and this is why people have to have the tone that they have. Do you understand? It contracts the throat. I also have tonsils. Some people don't. If you have tonsils and you have tonsils that flare up and swell and stuff like that, this restricts the throat too. So there's a lot of different factors that go into it that I didn't realize when I started singing that a vocal instructor wasn't able to tell me. So what these other professional vocalists have discovered, and I've even seen some of them doing it, I think Zach uses like a lemon or something like that, like lemon something in water. Some of these guys, they will put like lemon juice or something just in water, and it dilates. I think that's what he does. I think a bunch of these guys do it. It's not, don't understand it, it's not like a trick. He's not like, you know, improving what, no, he's just getting back what he had. Like, that's it. Like, he's just trying to dilate his air passages so he can breathe while he sings. And then if he didn't do that, it'd probably be like snot and spit. That's why he probably spit a lot. If you remember way back, he used to spit all the time. That was probably the same sort of thing where he had a cracked tooth or something like that, and he's always singing and stuff. You realize you have broken bits of teeth. When you're talking and you're singing, those are vibrations. Your tongue, you know, I often talk to people, you don't know what pain is until you've dealt with what I've dealt with. You really don't. Like people think that I just have this, no, I wear pain well because I've dealt with this for so long. You don't know pain until you have something sharp sticking into the bottom of your tongue literally 24/7. Literally 20, like you have to talk like this and just be normal in like a place of business and stuff, and like, yeah, you know, like a job or, no, you gotta just be normal. You can't, because people will just look at you and be like, there's nothing wrong with you, you know, like, but meanwhile, you just have it literally, basically a knife, you know, that's like just a sharp piece of tooth is what it is, sticking into the bottom of your tongue. And then you gotta talk, you gotta, you really can't appreciate what that does. And then so if you're trying to sing, this restricts things, and you just have to learn how to modify and adjust. Basically, I learned how to sing while I'm sick. And a lot of when I'm singing, it sounds like I'm sick. It sounds like, because I just have these obstructed nasal passages. A lot of it is just my nasal passages. That's really all it is. So again, just find that singer. You know, like for me, like I said, it was Zach. I know I went on a little tangent there. For me, it was Zach. So like, a lot of that was because as I started getting higher, I used to watch, I watched Pick of Destiny and Tenacious D songs. I used to do them all the time. but I'm just not as pitch perfect as I used to be because of my nose. I was pitch perfect, just like he was, just like he is, basically. I could just start singing and I'd just be in key. But because of my nose, it's just... and so, like, because it's actually a similar style, it's very raw, comes from down here, you can just bring it out. It's a very 80s sort of hair metal. It really is. It really is a very natural way of singing. It is pitch. It's correct, but it is yelling a lot of times. But yeah, the way Zach does it is actually a lot like this. It's a lot the way that Jack Black does it. So if you use Master Exploder, for example, the way he does that and he's able to get that high pitch is actually very similar to the way Zach does it. So the idea is that that sounds very high, but the point is his range is absurd. So he just builds all this air in here and then just sort of like lets it explode. He's holding on to it. He's holding on to it, and then he just lets it explode. So and then he just starts off with oh, and it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's literally just I wouldn't have been able to do, again, a lot of the way I'm able to do that is understanding the way Zach sings, because he spoke most to me as a singer, so I was able to understand the way he was doing that and opening his throat and stuff. I just listened to the way he did it and kind of tried to, through sound, just like a guitarist would hear a guitar, oh, that's how he does that. Sometimes you don't even see where the fingers are. You just hear the chord. You're like, fuck, I know what that is. Just based on where his hand is, you get it. You're like, shit, all right, I get it now. Well, because Zach's a professional, he knows what he's doing it properly, I was able to understand those things. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Does that make sense? And all of your phlegm and raspiness needs to come from down here too. So like if you're Ivan Moody or something like that and you're a phenomenal singer and you're just really fucking good at both, the reason this guy is so good at that is because he's a baritone. He's not trying to do tenor. He's not even trying. That's why. That's why, because it's so hard to do that. And you will fuck up your voice. You will throw it out. It's not how you're supposed to do it. If you want to do the low growls and the raspiness, you need to sing baritone. And that's why he is able, that's why he never throws his voice out, almost never, and his voice is clear, because he's singing in the proper octave range. It's as simple as that. Most of these guys, they're singing out of their octave range, are just good. And they know how to do it. But it's really not their octave range, let's be honest. It's not. Yeah, and they're just good at it. So they just do it. One day, the shadows will surround me. And someday, days will come to end. That is obviously baritone. But now I see clearly. And then you think the next part is tenor. It's not. He's just yelling it. So it sounds higher. All this time, I've watched from the outside. By the way, why, Ivan, please, can I ask you a question, just man to man? Why did you add an E sound to that? I'm just curious. I think it sounds better if you just pronounce the word the way it sounds.
actually just genuinely wondering. I don't think it sounds good that way. I think it would sound much better if you went, from the outside, I watched from never really listened. Instead he goes, from outside. I'm like, what? Like, I love the guy and I love the band, but I just don't. I'm not trying to poke fun at him. I know it sounds kind of funny. That's kind of my point. Like, that's a very serious song, and you're outside. And then he proves that he can do it because he does that as like the last. He pronounces it correct later. Outside. You know, like I think he even kind of like does it like that near the end, and I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, well, then why sing it weird outside? It throws the whole thing off for me. And any guy that's like a metal fan listening to that song, I think they kind of agree. Like they just kind of like skip to the next one where it's just a little bit of a cringe sound. You know, like you know the proper way to pronounce that. You're intentionally pronouncing it that way so that it's a trick. Later in the song, you want side to sound badass. So therefore you say it half-assed the rest of the song. Side. I'm not poking fun. It's just a trick, and I know you're doing it. I'm not trying to be rude. I think that's why you're doing it. I'm calling it out a little bit. Stop doing these tricks, man. Just sing it. That's all I gotta say. Like, just anytime you. Again, that first album was so freaking good, and I love Five Finger Death Punch. You guys know I love them. I'm the one making the shorts of Inside Out, like headbanging and shit, because Inside Out's still a phenomenal song. But let's be honest. If you heard an album that sounded like War's the Answer or... Fuck, I'm just gonna call it The Bleeding. Fuck. The first album, you'd lose your shit. You'd be like, oh my god! Ah! They sound so good again! You'd lose your shit, right? So, I'm not anything Ivan or anything, or the band or anything. I think they're trying to get radio songs too much. I think they're just trying to push for that too much, and it's just not why I listen to music. And again, I'm recollecting this time where I'm thinking of an amazing song, and again he sings Saeed, watch from the outside. I can't even sing it like that. Outside, I watched but never really listened as the whole world passed me by. It's a good song though. I apologize. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I apologize. I mean, like, it's a great song. I love it. It really is. And they did a nod to, like, a lot of different singers and musicians and stuff. I think even in the music video, I think they had Chester's had sewn in there. Like, they did, I think didn't they do Lemmy, too? They did a bunch. The idea was that, like, a lot of people in rock were passing away. And at the time, I think maybe he felt a certain way about certain things and personally, and wanted to maybe apologize to some people and just didn't get a chance to. It's just what it sounded like, and really appreciate, you know, somebody that's willing to write a song and do that. But I don't know that that's what it was. I just know that's what it sounded like. But again, that's a personal thing. That's not me saying that that's what it is. That's just me saying that's what it sounded like. But again, they could have also just been doing nods to the different musicians and different artists over the years. That, again, I apologize for the fact that, you know, that is definitely true of Chester. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And I said it for so long that guy is like the greatest vocalist. I often thought he was possibly, you know, like people considered Michael Jackson to be like arguably the best. You know, it's hard to say throughout history who's the best of anything, really. You know, because the best, you know, like it's so subjective. But Chester really just, he had this such a unique quality to be technically so good at what he's doing, you know, technically, like on a technical level, but then at the same time make it sound so easy. Like he was just that good at it. And it was very similar to what Michael could do in his prime, but I think more so. I think even more so, because the point is that Chester can scream, and scream well he could, and you know, he touched all our hearts with his lyrics for sure. You know, whether he helped you get through something because he went through it too, or you know, helped you realize something because he went through it too, or something like that. You know, it's just the, you know, yeah, here's the answer to this if you're lost, you know, sort of thing. So, but you know, at the same time, being an artist, you know, writing good music, just really good music that you want to listen to, and that was the important thing. That was what I got from Chester, and I miss that. Like, I just miss, you know, being able to see him have fun, because I knew he liked singing and performing and stuff. That's the thing, is I just think that people didn't acknowledge, you know, like they're a revolutionary act. Nobody sounds like them. They were often ahead of the curve. They often defined the genre for the next however long it was happening. And then nobody gave that to them. They just threw shade on them because they didn't understand the music, because it was ahead of its time. Now they get it. Only now people are starting to go back. Do you remember that song? What was it called? Blackout? Lost in the Echo. Do you know how many people over the years, like, they told me they never listened to these songs or something like that? They're like, Lost in the Echo. Remember that? And like, I'll just mention it, and then like, if I start playing it, oh, that's Linkin Park. They'll just immediately know, because it sounds just like Linkin Park. Yet at the time it was coming out, everybody's like, this ain't Linkin Park. This ain't Linkin Park. Chester doesn't even sound the same. And they're just being so fucked up. And like, it was like some of the most revolutionary shit I'd ever heard. And they were just poking fun at it, being nasty. Living Things. Living Things was that album where Chester, I think, had new life. You know, like he was feeling good, everybody was feeling good, and the album just tanked. At first. You know, like, I think Burn It Down was one of the only ones that did fairly well. And then I think later on people started listening. Was Castle of Glass on there? I think later on people started listening to Castle of Glass. But nobody gave that album the credit it deserved when it came out. Nobody. Everybody was just bitching it wasn't Hybrid Theory. And that really pissed me off. Day one. It's not dubstep. It's not Korn. Like, do you not remember when Jonathan Davis worked with them on One Step Closer on Reanimation. Do you not remember when Jonathan Davis worked with them, the music, like, how freaking kick-ass was that? And if you haven't listened to it, if you're a musician and you're in metal, you are doing yourself a huge disservice by never listening to that album. Huge disservice. Huge, huge, huge. Because that album was a lot closer to the way Linkin Park, I think, wanted to sound versus the way they sounded on the radio. That was like them testing the water to see if it was going to be popular enough that they could sound like that in the future after Hybrid Theory, I think. And they couldn't. It didn't do well, and Meteora had. Now, Meteora, great. It's a great song. Great album. Great songs on there. I would never, ever, ever take back Meteora. Still my favorite album. But Reanimation, again, was so progressive. It was Linkin Park showing what they could do. And that was, in my opinion, some of the beginnings of what we saw of progressive metal, but nobody was paying attention. Literally nobody was paying attention. Everybody's like, oh, it's Tool. Oh, it's Tool. It's Tool. Tool. That Tool is good. I'm not throwing shade on Tool. Fuck, Tool deserves every credit that they get. Amazing music, amazing drummer, amazing guitar work, amazing. Maynard James Keenan, fucking genius. Maynard James Keenan's a fucking genius. Nobody doubts this. Doesn't mean that Linkin Park didn't deserve the same amount of credit. I put Linkin Park up with Tool. I have the balls to say that. Metal guys, they don't. They just don't have the balls to say it. It's the truth. Put Linkin Park up with Tool. Put them up with Pantera. Put them up with everybody else. Because they deserve to fucking be there. Because you don't got the balls to say it. And it's just because of the image of the band. That's it. Because they dared to try to appear to the younger audience. To try to have, always a fresh sort of image. Who the fuck cares? Like, is this really what you care about? You care about the image of the music? Okay. Well, that explains some things. Yeah. This is why people got their panties all in a bunch, just because Black Label Society wanted to be a biker image. Who the fuck cares? You know those guys ride, right? Yeah, so why wouldn't they? Like, you're the one doing this. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure all the bikers up front, too, at almost every concert wearing the vests would agree. Yeah. So, like, anybody that's just saying anything opposite, you're just full of shit and you're just talking out your ass. I just really think that, this is everything. Like people on the internet and people in general they look at an image of a band and that's it. They actually fall victim to that image. And people don't know how to just like something just because of an image. Like the whole K-pop thing. I think Super Junior LSS just came out with a new trailer for a new song that they're releasing. What's wrong with Super Junior? What's wrong with K-pop? I've even said over the years, if you're one of those people that likes real music and most of it's auto-tuned, electronic, you're just adjusting dials, that I understand. Because there's no talent involved. You can just fucking go in there with a terrible voice, terrible everything, and just have your engineer, your producer do everything. That's not music. But Super Junior and a good bit of K-pop, I promise you this is the point. I've researched it, and so have plenty of other people. There's real instruments in there. They're really singing, and a lot of times there's no auto-tune anymore, because some of us really did complain about that, and they did too. Those vocalists don't like that. It makes them look bad. It makes them look like they need it. And they don't. They do not. I am so sick and tired of this industry, the music industry, destroying artists because the marketer thought that it was a good idea to put auto-tune on something or something like that, and you can't even hear the person's little individual things that they do with their voice just because somebody threw auto-tune. What? No. I'd rather hear him slightly miss a pitch than hear a fucking auto-tune correct it. Who cares? I want to hear his voice. What's the point? It's like when you go to it's like what Zach does with his guitar, where you hear every string. When he strums that guitar open, you might get a very distorted tone. But unlike all the other guys out there, when he plays a chord, you hear every string. There's a reason for that. Yeah, because he plays chords. He doesn't play. Now he does play power. He plays some simple stuff. We all know this once in a while, but he shreds and he does all the complex stuff too. So the point is, when he does play a chord, he wants you to hear that chord. He really wants you to hear the music, and you do. And I even distinctly remember my first experience with that, seeing him live when I was younger, and my first experience hearing it for the first time in person was unlike. I knew it was his guitar. I thought it was him, but it was the warm up. The guy was like playing it to test it out. Way back when they used to play the stuff to have to test it out. They don't got to do that anymore. Digital now. Way back when they used to have to come out on stage and play it a little bit to test to make sure it's mic'd, working okay. I heard that open strum. I thought it was him, but I kind of knew it sort of in the back of my mind it wasn't. He wouldn't come out beforehand and sort of stand there. He'd be backstage. So yeah, like as soon as I heard that, it was I just couldn't believe it. Again, I had never heard a chord so clear and so resounding. It was literally, as people describe, music to your ears. It was that immediate term came to my head, and I was in awe. I was relaxed, and it was just an open fucking strum. It was just, just that. The fact that so many people over the years can't tune their guitars, can't get the tone right, and then like I'll see a stupid fucking comment on a video, somebody trying to say like his guitar's out of tune or something like that, and meanwhile the recording is from a fucking cell phone with all, you know what I mean, like this little tiny mic picking up. No, that's the mic and the shit recording. That you trust me. You're actually trying to say that from a shitty recording with a mic that big, all this noise going on? Fuck no, it's only picking up so many highs and lows, man. You kidding me? No, it's just dropping what it can't receive. You think it's out of tune? No, it's can't receive those frequencies. So you just hear a different pitch. It's exactly why I did those covers from my phone over the years, to show you the differences in the music and why those things happen. I tried. You only get so much, and the louder the music is and you're trying to sing over it, that little tiny mic's just going to pick up what it can pick up. So the louder the music is and the more you're trying to sing over it, the more sound there is, the more it's going to lose. It's a wider frequency. So less sound, less distorted guitar and stuff like that, you'll hear those vocals more. Which is why, like some of those Linkin Park stuff where I'm recording from the mobile, doing the shorts and stuff, that's why those sound a little bit more clear versus some of the other ones, because of the guitar and the loudness of the music. If that makes sense. And then obviously then I showed you using not a proper mic, a better mic. The mic I have is not, I would use a Shure if I was recording. I would use a Shure. That would be my brand, and I would probably talk about nothing but Shure. I have really no reason to use any other mic. I would trust that company implicitly. There are certain, with audio, there is certain companies I would use, and I would absolutely talk about them and back them up 100%, because those companies do care. There's a much different world than the computer, tech industry that's like, there's this competitor shit. No, it's much different. Much, much different. That shit's gonna work. It needs to. And if it doesn't, they want to hear about it. They want to hear why. They want to hear what happened. They want to make it right. It's just a different world, man. Just like a lot of those guys that use the actual, like, real equipment, like the canceling headsets and stuff. A lot of the equipment and stuff that they actually use for professional recording is not the stuff that you and I use. It's just not. There's a reason there's a massive price difference, because they know that these guys can't afford it and will pay that, and you can't. So then you won't sit there and bitch about a product endlessly that you just simply don't know how to use properly, thinking that it's the product, but really it's you. Anyway, a lot of those, that's why they do that, and it's the truth, because that's what people do. But also, it's also just latest and greatest is always going to have that price difference too. Some of the best headsets out there, though, for recording and stuff is just Sony. Sony makes some of the best. Don't get Bose. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Bose will literally just rip you off. I cannot stand. This is the one company that I cannot stand. I can't stand Bose, and I will literally say this to the ends of the earth. Bose will rip you off. Bose sells a product way, way price gouging above the rest. It's just the same parts in there than half the time as the Sony, as the Sennheiser, whatever else you want to use that is just comparable, if anything, better. Because I'll be honest with you, Bose intentionally increases the frequency range on low ends so that you think it's bassier. So it appeals to people to listen to rap music, and it's it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And then you pay a lot for this because they're fooling people that don't know anything about frequency ranges and recording equipment and stuff like that. They're just widening the low range, trying to convince you yada yada yada, when they know flat out it's just widening the low range. So I can't answer that. You're trying to call me, but I can't answer it. So leave a voicemail. These people do this. They call me when I'm sitting here streaming. They see me streaming and they know I'm streaming, so they fucking call. But it's I appreciate whatever you're trying to reach me for and you're trying to call me about. But again, I just want you to know that if I am streaming and you're trying to call, that's fine. But just realize it's going to ring out because I can't answer it. I cannot answer it. Just can't do it. It won't happen. Even if I ended the stream, what happens is I'll end the stream to try to answer the call. All it does is end the stream, and then by the time I get out, there's just not enough time to answer it. It's just not enough. And I've even tried that. I've tried really quickly doing it, and it ends the call or something. Like, it just, AT&T or whatever just can't fucking handle it. Just trash, man. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.